a big number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad ain't pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, don't make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points of God.
Big numbers. Big numbers.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, the summer beach weather may be long gone, but still a tremendous afternoon for football here in Los Angeles, California. And a few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
A pass there, complete to Westbrook. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. A look now at the defensive starting lineup for the 49ers. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
On 1st and 10, Fields. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. From the gun on third down, Fields nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
On the ready. Go out.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be out. Out of bounds right around the 14.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. The give to Taylor. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. Big conversion. They were backed up deep to start the drive, able to pick up the first.
So the goal is at least a first down here, right? Pick up a first down, give yourself some breathing room, and if you have to punt after that, maybe you've helped with field position, you've helped out your defense.
And avoided a 3 and out on their opening drive. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. On second down now, it's Taylor. And he'll be out right at the 35.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, They want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. With a lot of the media, Charles, ourselves included, starting to prep those MVP ballots, you wonder if last week's performance, which he admitted was not very good, if that hurt him at all coming down the stretch.
Less than 50 yards on the ground in last week's game that you referenced in. Let's face it, if he has another game like that, we'll erase him from the MVP discussion. He won't even be talked about anymore. He has to bounce back with 100-plus in this one in order to stay in that race.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd down, it's Taylor, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Malik Jefferson.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
2nd quarter now from Los Angeles. It is the Rams in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And Sanders now to return. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up, because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Big series right here. We got to step it up. 56. Mike, 56.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. They'll run. It's Sanders. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. This is caught. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Point after, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more than nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards.
Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And, boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? They'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Now Sanders. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time John? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Room here to run. 18 yards, first down Niners.
Here we go. Here we go.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Oh, fighting off the defender. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. It's a second down run with Sanders. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, it's Taylor. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. DeForest Buckner has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So we reach halftime, and there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well, as we are back and started in the second half. This fielded at the 2.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On second down, it's Sanders. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And he's got some space here. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now the 2nd down throw on target. This one good for a first down, and also that is catch number 90 for him now on the season. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or 2.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Oh, always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. Here's Cameron Johnston now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Los Angeles. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On second down now, McPherson. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. The Rams on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Running right, here's Sanders. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Taylor. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react.
Oh, here come the Rams, and they get it. It's blocked. It's picked up, and this is a live ball, remember. And they are going to have the football right at the 10-yard line.
Applaud the play. That tells me the effort is still there. They have not folded 10, decided this game is over, but they're in a really precarious situation even after that big momentum swing.
Yeah, I think that the 10's pretty much folded, but the Niners get there and bring him down.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Looking to throw. Fields. Nick Bosa. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame him for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame him one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
It's a gain of 8, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now a carry for Sanders. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Bravo! 50 seconds to fight.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's...
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Did they try to put together something? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Fields. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And checking that NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter down in Arizona. And give that one to the Cardinals as they wind up winners. A win, if they can get it, would be their 1st on the year. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Go!
They run with Taylor. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Yeah, QB's trash. Let's go. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Here we go.
56.
Ready?
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll stop it with a spike here with 7 seconds left on the clock.
Hit it.
56 is Mike. Man, I got you.
Smooth.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Ready. 50, plant.
Right there, 56.
Hey, foxtrot. Hit it.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the victory here for San Francisco. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.